The latest on a massive fire that erupted at a decommissioned power plant. Crews will be spending the night at the scene of the former Robinson plant, which this fire started before 3 this morning, and it covered nearby homes and cars in smoke and ash. Here's the latest from Galveston County officials. Air monitoring in the areas around the scene have shown no significant results. And in just the last hour, Texas City Emergency Management tells us the structure is 95 to 98% wood and it was hollow. The fire was contained to the site of the former plant and there have been no reported injuries. Air 11 was over that scene earlier today and caught the moment this building came crashing to the ground. And a viewer sent us this shot from the Bacliff area where you can see several plumes of smoke rising in the distance. And these photos from Alvin and KHOU firefighters show the smoke up close. It was so thick, authorities called for a temporary shelter in place for residents in San Leon as a precaution. The old P.H. Robinson power plant is near the Bacliff area off of State Highway 146 near 29th Street and Avenue J. And tonight, people who live nearby say they are worried how the fire could impact their lives. We have team coverage for you tonight, but we begin first with Troy Kless in Bacliff with the latest. Troy.
In the Edgewater neighborhood is where several residents are concerned right now because of the debris that fell from the fire that's been burning all day. You can see behind me that there is ash and ember in the bottom of this pool, which is concerning to the residents who live in this area.
Under a cloud of smoke.
Standing out here is probably not healthy, and I keep hearing about it's all good, so I don't know what to say. I don't know where to go from here.
This is where Lloyd Lamb has lived for 4 years. He and his neighbors waking up to a large fire at the former P.H. Robinson power plant with smoke just outside their door.
It's weird, you know, look like ash from a volcano or something.
A resident provided KHOU 11 this surveillance video showing the fire growing at the plant, which began around 2:14 this morning and took more than 14 hours to contain, damaging 5 structures on the site. The cause of the fire is still unclear, and what has burned could be seen from far and near. Galveston County officials saying Sunday the fire has remained contained to the site of the former power plant. Overnight, crews will remain on scene to monitor for any potential flare-ups. That's not stopping people like Lamb from being worried.
Is my health going to be a situation right now? I mean, because we're thinking about leaving, because staying here because the house smells like this stuff that's out here right now.
I hope that whatever happened and the reason why it started, that they fix that situation, because there's a lot of people's lives at stake right now if it would have actually spread.
KHOU 11 has reached out to property owners EPCOR for additional details, and we're waiting to hear back.
Galveston County emergency officials say that air quality will be ongoing throughout the evening. In Bacliff, Troy Kless, KHOU 11 News.
Thanks, Troy. I looked into a bit of the history of the power plant. It was a Houston lighting and power facility built in the 60s to boost Houston's energy supply. According to multiple reports, it has been out of service for more than 15 years. And just last month, the Galveston Daily News reported the site was going to be turned into a desalination plant that turns salt water into fresh water for drinking and irrigation. We continue our team coverage this evening with meteorologist Pat Kaplan. And Pat, how did the weather conditions affect that fire out there?
Well, you know, I got to tell you, if this had been a week ago when we were dealing with that strong cold front that went through the area with those strong gusty winds, this could have been a totally different story. Thankfully, the wind was not a big factor. In fact, for a good part of this morning, while the smoke was at the heaviest, the wind was actually bringing the smoke out over Galveston Bay. It wasn't until the afternoon when the bay breeze kicked in that some of that smoke started to move farther inland. The good news, though, is that air quality still does not seem to be an issue, or at least a significant issue for this area, still in the good category. But again, with the dry conditions, with moderate drought through this area and severe drought through a good part of the rest of the area, any fires that develop right now, of course, do run the risk of spreading. So hats off to the firefighters to containing that today. It was a hot day to fight a fire as well. In fact, we got to a record of 86 at Intercontinental. That beats the previous record of 85 set back in 1948.